As a proud member of the Mission Committee and as the new co-chair of American Society of Vashem's Young Leadership Association. I would like to thank the previous chairs, Barry Levine and Abby Halpern, who are on the mission with us and who devoted years to building such an incredible and dynamic YLA board. I am excited to embark on this new journey with my co-chair, Josh Kelnick. I have to thank Jill for being our right hand in the office. You have joined the Vashem family with so much ease, passion, and always with a smile. And thank you. Yeah. That's for Jill. And thank you to Ron, Eileen, and Emily for all your hard work. Thank you to Adina, Barry, and Mark for devoting the last year and a half to making this trip unforgettable. Adina, you are a Wonder Woman. I have no authority, but you're hired for the next mission. Sorry. I have to acknowledge the amazing mitzvah that took place last night. Mr. Harry Larry Kurkowski. Yes, fun fact, his middle name is Larry. In all seriousness, Harry and Rachel, you two, and the rest of the Kurkowski and Stavsky clan are not only so much fun, but are true Ba'alei Chesed in every sense of the word. The tzedakah that you pledged last night was even more sweet because it was pledged in Hitler's hometown. And to me, ensuring Holocaust awareness and education in a place like that is something I will never forget. So thank you. For those of you who I have not already met, my name is Rachel Shnay. My name may identify me and it may define me, however, it does not belong to me. You see, I was named for my grandfather's sister, Rachel Shnay Zichrono Livracha. Her life was ripped from her at the tender age of 6 when she was murdered in the gas chambers of Belzich with her mother, Chana. I was born into a family of survivors. All 4 of my grandparents were born in Poland. My parents, Gabriella and Jack, who are with us on this mission, are second generation, and despite the fact that my mom grew up in Buenos Aires and my dad in Queens, they share a unique bond that only descendants of survivors can understand. The same goes for third generation. Ever since I can remember, I've had this passion and yearning to learn, teach, discuss, read, anything and everything related to the Holocaust. Some may think I'm crazy or question my constant association with such heavy content, but I simply cannot suppress something that defines who I am. And I know many in this room feel the same. I have to thank my parents for raising my sisters and I in a home that embraces our past and reminds us every day the importance of Jewish pride and continuity. So we are finally home after a very meaningful few days in Vienna. And yes, I must say, it is difficult to be in a city that can be absolutely gorgeous, but at the same time, horrifyingly deceiving. As my eyes try to really appreciate the beauty, my heart quickly remembers the pain, the blood, and the screams that echo the cobblestone streets and grandiose architecture. Perhaps it is the 6-year-old Rachel Shnay in me that is constantly tugging on my soul, or the thought of my adorable grandparents going through what they and millions of others endured. But I've come to the realization that when visiting any previously Nazi-occupied city, I will never truly feel at peace. I can't help but look at the elderly and wonder what they were doing during the war, what they saw, and what they are hiding. When traveling to these cities, I will always have an unsettling sense of guilt, because after all, I am just a visitor, not a prisoner. To think that just a few decades ago, our parents and grandparents were hunted like animals, exterminated like rats in the same streets and same buildings that are bustling with hip restaurants and bars. As much as my emotions overcome me in cities like Berlin, Warsaw, Vienna, and even Paris, they do not and will never stop me from visiting, memorializing, and commemorating the lives that were lost and their lives that were lived. As you know, 200,000 Jews were proud and prominent citizens of Vienna at the beginning of the Shoah. It is essential that we memorialize their murders, but it is equally essential that we see the universities that the Jewish teens once received some of the highest and most prestigious degrees, that we walk the streets where beautiful balabustas and Yiddish imamos were once shopping the latest fashions for the Chagim, and to daven in the same shuls where young couples got married and where little boys would sit on the laps of their fathers on Shabbos. These are the moments that are lost in time, that have been forever tainted by the unforeseen fate of that same Balabusta being shot in front of her children in the street, the newlywed couple naked and thrown into a mass grave, and that little boy crying for his tati in an Auschwitz gas chamber. The eerie dichotomy of something so beautiful transforming into pure horror will always remain a constant theme of the Shoah. But the significance of one life, one name, that is Yad Vashem. The fact that each and every one of you took a week out of your busy lives to join the mission sheds a tiny bit of light to what was lost. The flame of our past may have been diminished, but it will never be extinguished. They lost and sacrificed their all only to fight on the front lines so that we can stand strong today with our freedom and the state of Israel, so that we can have it all. We unite here today, ages 15 to 97, as proud Jews and proud Zionists, and we owe it all to the millions of lamplighters of our past. Whether they were murdered or whether they survived, each and every one of them is a fighter for our existence today, including my grandparents, Vaida and Azriel Shnay, and Deborah and Simcha Horowitz. Simcha having survived Auschwitz only to join the Haganah, becoming a founder of the Israeli Air Force and fighting in the War of Independence. Their strength and passion for the Jewish people in the state of Israel is something I envy and I hope to emulate. But what do we do with that responsibility of being the future generation? We remain strong. We support each other. We defend our Israel relentlessly, even if that means losing Facebook friends because of it. We do not take no for an answer. If we are faced with an act of anti-Semitism, which unfortunately we all will be, we don't brush it off. We kick and scream and fetch. We make our voices heard as loud as we can, and we never allow for any form of intolerance just for simply existing. We raise our children to be leaders with a love of Torah, of Judaism, and of Israel. We use Yad Vashem as a backbone and an essential resource. We don't hide, we don't get embarrassed. We stand up and say, I'm a Jew, I'm a Zionist, and I will never be silenced. It pains me to think that my future children will not have relationships with survivors the way I did. But I am comforted in knowing that as long as Yad Vashem is in existence, their neshamas will be too. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Just really moved.